Listen, son, I think it's time we have the sex talk.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Well, you walked in on me and your mother last night. I think there's some things you need to understand.
Listen, I know what you were doing. You don't need to explain to me.
Yeah, well, listen, I've seen your search history on the internet. I know you know what it is. Oh, actually, by the way, that's really freaky shit. You'd probably want to see someone about that. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is that, me and your mother think that, you need to get out of the house. You need to get yourself a woman. Figure if you're out doing it, we can be home doing it, So I'm gonna try to teach you how to pick up a woman. Well, since we know your social skills aren't the best, I'm gonna give you a procedure that will help you the most. Step 1, acquiring tape, rope, and an alibi.
All right. Alright, so American Reunion. Looking forward to this movie for a long time. I've always been really a fan of the series because I remember, as a kid kind of covertly watching these movies and, learning, so many wondrous things. So I think for a lot of people, there's a lot of nostalgia in this movie and also kind of a respite from all of those awful spin-off straight-to-DVD movies that have just... The only thing about them American Pie is that Eugene Levy's in them for just every single one for some reason. He apparently got nothing better to do. But anyway, I mean, the first movie's a classic, and it even spawned a couple of pretty good sequels. American Reunion reunites most of the original cast, pretty much all of it, and it's fantastic to see all of these people, how much they've grown. It's interesting to reflect on, how much the actors and actresses have grown, as have their characters throughout this series. There's a lot of people who in this movie who have moved on to a lot of different things, and a lot of people who really haven't done anything recognizable since the last American Pie movie. They're still also fantastic together, and that's the thing that makes the movie, is just this cast. Even at times if it's cliche or if it's not very clever, it's still this characters and their chemistry that makes this movie so fantastic, and the pure nostalgia of it. The movie escapes a lot of pitfalls and even a lot of blame for its own flaws because it's so likable, and they definitely know that. They're making this movie just having an all-out blast with it and not trying to make something that's a classic or anything, and for that reason, it's just so enjoyable. There definitely are a lot of flaws in the movie. A lot of it relies on humor from earlier movies, or the humor is just not original or very funny material to begin with. It's just the fact that the performance and the delivery is so fantastic, and just the fact that it's American Pie, and we love these people, that makes it okay. You can look at these jokes and you can notice that they're not very good, but you'll still laugh your ass off just because. And that's something fantastic about a movie like this, where it's, a hard R comedy, that even if it gets to the point where it's so raunchy, you're like, damn, really? Are you really gonna do that? That it's okay, because the movie has a charm about it, and it is endearing to a sense. A lot of this movie is reliant not on our own nostalgia, but on the nostalgia of the characters, thinking back to, the good old days and whatnot, and talking about how old they are and, how much time has passed, which is, obviously very transparent to the audience as well, and I think they were using that as a connection point, and that's why there's something so familiar about it that is so likable. The movie still has the same uneasy split between the drama and the comedy, and because there's the deep ends of both, obviously, just extremely sleazy humor that is, we're still gonna laugh at, even if we're ashamed of it just a little bit. I like this movie. I think if you're a fan of the series, you're gonna love it, and if you're not, it's still a good time. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Definitely recommend the movie.
Now listen, you're gonna need some practice, A lot of people think that using a pie is a pretty practical approach, so why don't you take a feel of this right here?
Wow, that is actually quite realistic, and all. It feels very similar. Smells better, though.